tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
All right, everybody, and welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. All you have to do is go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code tinfoil, and you too can get in on the Purse Smells game for as little as $50 a month. Purse Smells sent right to your house. Want to say thank you for all the Spotify raps that everyone's starting to send me. I love it. I'm so thankful that you guys listen to us. We're just blessed. So I'm very excited to have our next guest on. She's an author. She's a content creator. She has a very interesting story. I'm very excited to have her on. Please welcome to the show, Shannon Rowan. How are you, Shannon?
Hi, Sam. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be on today.
Well, we're very blessed you are here. For our listeners who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yeah. So firstly, it's one-stop shopping for me. It's www.wifi-refugee.com. So wifi-refugee.com. So yeah, I was injured by our lovely smart technology, so-called smart, like 11, 12 years ago now. And
wow.
to the point where I had to give up all this tech way back then already. Smart tech in particular, wireless radiation in particular as well. So I just had like really extreme reactions, felt like all of a sudden, and it really was when the 4G rolled out. I was living in Washington, D.C., sort of where I'm from. I've lived a lot of other places, but my home base was there. And I used to be a photojournalist. So I was like an early adopter of technology and cell phones because of photojournalism. And so maybe that's why, I don't know, but the 4G rollout, smart meters installed on my home without my knowledge. I guess they sent me some small print thing probably in the mail that I ignored. Didn't know anything about smart meters or what harm they could do or any of that. And yeah, it was pretty devastating and really like just totally changed my life. Ultimately for the better, I think, but it led me into a lot of the topics I research and write about today.
So when you say it did great harm to you, what kind of harm are we talking about?
Yeah, primarily headaches, but migraines, like severe, migraines I've never had before. Also bodily aches and pains, but they were like shooting electrical kind of sensations, like shocking me is how it felt and it would like persist after I would hold my smartphone. And I started linking it to it pretty quickly because it would seem pretty obvious that it was the phone, and then I could feel like somebody else's phone on. I could feel before their text came in, like right before it would make the ping, I would feel it through my body. It was crazy. It was like, I was like some kind of freak, like fun at parties, because it would be like, watch this, look what Shannon can do. Yeah, but not really fun for me, ultimately.
Do you think you're an empath? Is that what it is? Is it some psychic stuff, or is it just feel, or what do you think it is?
Well, I think I am pretty empathetic kind of person, and I have had some kind of psychic things going on with me, so possibly there's some level of that. But I've met a lot of different people that have been affected, and I can't say we're all alike, and it's really in terms of the scientific literature, I've looked into this a lot because I've been trying to prove to people, the people who need the science to prove anything. And it still doesn't matter when I tell them because I'm not a scientist. So, and even if I were, they would find some other reason not to listen if they don't want to hear it, but it looks like there's an inflammation response in the brain that then cascades into the body. And there's like neurological damage that happens that causes this kind of hypersensitivity, as it's known.
It is very interesting. I believe there's a city in North Carolina, Johnny, that is like completely anti Wi-Fi, anti all that stuff. You're not allowed to have any of that.
You're thinking of Green Bank, West Virginia.
Oh, West Virginia.
Because it's the National Radio Quiet Zone. However, it's not that radio quiet anymore. It's because of their listening telescope, listening into space, that they were like prohibited all radio frequencies, but they've been laxing, getting more lax about it just because of the demand. Really, telecoms have just moved in there too. It's not as good as it used to be. And electrosensitives weren't really welcome either. The people living there thought they were also freaks coming to, find refuge there. But the press like to kind of make it look like there's a place for these freaks, so don't worry about it.
A place for freaks.
Yeah. I would love, if I wouldn't mind like a leper colony situation, if it were like a nice tropical island, they want to go send me there and have no Wi-Fi. I would, hey, sign me up, treat me like a leper. That would be awesome. But unfortunately, there isn't really a place for us, and I've had to move several times, and I live off grid now because we had moved to Arizona. Luckily, I have a partner who moved with me, also named Sam, by the way.
Yay! Sams are killing it.
Sams are awesome.
Yeah, we are. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's so funny. It's like we know there's warnings that something's not good. Does anyone else get phantom rings in their legs? Do you ever just have a moment where you're like, oh, my phone's ringing, and you're like, oh,
absolutely.
There's no phone there. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what is that? That can't be healthy for you. No.
My question is, if you have your limb amputated from gamer's thrombosis from gaming too much, this has happened.
What?
And then do you get a phantom ringing? Do you get the phantom vibration on your phantom leg with the phantom leg? Syndrome?
That would be the craziest thing ever. You get a phantom ring in your phantom leg. You don't have a leg or a phone. You're like, who's trying to call me and why they hate me? It's like, dude, that is crazy. So you start experiencing these things, and what kind of research did you get into to discover that maybe this is what the issue is? Even though you had a feel, and like Johnny doesn't believe I'm psychic. I know I'm psychic, and I do get these kind of hunches that like, I think it's this, and then over time I'm proven right, and Johnny ignores it. But it's just the truth is that I'm very psychic. But what made you start to go, oh, I think this could be it? Was it that was the new variant that was introduced to your life, or what was it?
Well, it was really just like holding my phone and saying, "Oh, this hurts now," like touching a hot stove.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's really simple. It wasn't that hard to figure out.
You said
people ask me that, I'm like, it wasn't hard. It was like, obvious. Yeah.
You said it was 4G, the one that affected you, right? The one that you felt it. Did 3G do anything? Did you get little migraines, or if you got too close to the tower, or just 4G was the one?
No, 4G, but actually, now that you asked that, the phone always bothered me in terms of like heating effects on my head. Like I'd feel the like kind of heating sensation, and I know other people who feel that too, but if I had known that actually means there's already been damage, I may have stopped, and that could have, stopped the like further damage. So that was a sign of injury, and I just wasn't aware of that. I just thought, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable. So I usually use the speaker or like, hands-free. And yet I still ended up with like further damage. So it used to be called microwave sickness or microwave syndrome in the like 40s, 50s, with the first radar operators would get these same kind of symptoms, because there's a whole range of symptoms that a lot of it's like flu-like symptoms too.
Yes.
Yeah. But tinnitus is a big one, the ear ringing, which I've never gotten rid of completely. It's definitely better when I'm away from the exposures, but it feels like permanent damage in one ear, the ear I used most with the phone, interestingly. But yeah, like a lot of people are having symptoms like insomnia. I had a lot of other symptoms I didn't link to it. So like the direct pain, I linked to it. But then, the insomnia that I'd had for a couple of years, I didn't know it was linked to that, probably smart meters or something. But, there were other like joint pains and things that all cleared up once I got away from the exposures. And I've heard other people say like they had chronic like anxiety, and that cleared up when they got away. And that wasn't something they'd originally attributed to these exposures.
So very interesting, because during the break, Johnny had brought up that he sleeps like a baby on a plane, and I was talking about how I used to be able to do that, and for some reason I can't do it now, and it's really messing up my schedule. Like I'll go on the road and I can't sleep because I'm either flying really late or really early, and it just messes up my week. And I used to be able to sleep all the time. For some reason, I can't anymore. And it's really starting. Yeah. And then XG over here brought up, you know why they think that? And I go, why? He goes, well, because you have televisions on you. And then I was like, well, the television's in front of me. And he goes, no, the television behind you is right on your head.
It's crazy.
And it's Wi-Fi. That television's Wi-Fi because it's getting it from the front or something like that. So you're just cooking. And you always mention it because you go in there. It's so funny because he goes in there and talks shit because I have my AirPods on. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you go in there.
Yeah, but you're now double cooking.
I know, double cooking. Can you double cook?
Yeah, you are double cooking.
You can totally double cook. And those earbuds or whatever are like, there's worse than cell phones. Like you can measure it with the EMF meters. I suggest to everybody to get a meter. It'll totally open your eyes to what's going on around you. And it does help you protect yourself because at least you can get away from like the worst exposures and find things like, there's a freaking screen right behind my head. Some people that these exposures can actually make them sort of sleep in a kind of comatose way. I don't think it's like restorative sleep, but
I agree.
They like knocks you out. And that was happening to me driving. I used to think like driving would lull me into sleep and it was dangerous. I'd have to pull over. And I used to talk on my cell phone in the car. Like a lot of people, long drive, talk on my cell phone. But I would get so sleepy. And now I realize it was like EMFs on the highway because actually just when you're traveling at speed, it's, this is so crazy. So the tires in the cars used to be fiberglass shavings, like as the tensile, to add that tensile strength. And now it's metal. And that means that when you go like over 60, it creates this electromagnetic field in your car that's like really powerful that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And I think that, and I can still feel that I get really sleepy if it goes fast. I'm on the highway, and then you have infrasound on the highway as well, which can also, do weird things.
Just bombarded everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
Just bombarded. So, when sometimes I have to do work, so I bring my phone to my bed and I'm doing work and I'm just too lazy to get up and put it in another room because I don't want it in the room. Dana always has her phone in the room because in case her mom has an emergency, so it's always there. It drives me crazy, but it's part of the gig. But sometimes I'll just set my phone on the desk next to the bed, and hand to God, every time I wake up in the morning, I am dehydrated. I am so dehydrated. It's like it's always when the phone's right there. Whenever the phone's not there, I don't do it. When the phone's, I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, I need water, and I look over, there's the phone every single time.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, the thing is, okay, and I think it's called a cell phone for many reasons, but one is that, it affects us on a cellular level because like our cells communicate via electrical signaling, and this definitely disrupts that. It's just about overpowering biological signaling, really. And so there's a lot of different effects that can happen that are none of them good. So there's literally mountains of proof. There's like over 50,000 studies now you can find just on one website, actually called emfportal.org, emf-portal.org. But on all kinds, so you can like search different kinds of biological effects, but shows all these studies, and they've been compiled mostly by our military, for weapon, not because they just want to help us, probably. But military, it was as soon as we discovered electricity and then radio frequencies, it was all militaries all over it, how they can use it as a weapon. There was this whole, psychotronic weapons research during the Cold War, and we collaborated with the Soviet Union on that, when we were supposedly enemies. So, it goes way back. And so I get into the mind control aspect in my books as well, because there's physical effects. So all these effects were studied, like physical, psychological, emotional responses, with these exposures. And anyway, by the way, don't try not to sleep with your phone in your room. See, as you know, it's not good. And I know you're white. And the thing is, people have this idea that they need them with them all the time because of that emergency that might happen. But like, are you the emergency services? Should you be? I mean, everybody's so stressed out simply from having this intrusion in their lives and having this feeling of like being, like an ER worker. And I invite people to just remember that they're not those things. And could they really help people in an emergency? And how about having those people call emergency services?
Yeah,
instead?
her mom is like 98 years old. So she's constantly fearing that something bad might happen that she might have to make calls for. So I get that. So when you bring up the history of EMFs and all that stuff, there's a lot of discussion about the introduction of new technologies that kind of correspond with a plague, right? Like suddenly now, there's electrical lines everywhere. Then all of a sudden the Black Plague happens because our bodies are energy fields, so now you're introducing a new energy to it. What effects does that have on our bodies?
Yeah, on all biology, actually. What's really frightening is the ecological impacts because of disrupting even soil microorganisms. To all this, if we're affected, the smaller things are really affected. And there's even patents for microwaves and millimeter waves used as like insecticides, right, to kill insects intentionally. I mean, we all are familiar with like bug zappers. We see that happening. But this can happen. You can use microwaves this way as well. And microwaves are what make our wireless technologies operate. So it's really about like power levels. But again, like what might not kill you immediately or harm you immediately is going to harm something smaller. But then there's that whole web of life and food chain, getting disrupted. So the effects are really far reaching. And there's been a lot of studies on like birds and bees and migration and, bee colony collapse and all those kind of things. And even just like the health of trees and tree bark and sap in the trees. And, a lot of the plants are reacting in a defensive way. And that's making them release more volatile organic compounds, which apparently is helping like creating this spontaneous combustion situations and creating forest fires. So there's that problem. Yeah. So sorry, you were saying,
so hold on.
the plagues, right?
I want to look into that, but so you're saying that the effects of EMF are affecting plants and trees to the point that they might spontaneously combust?
Yeah, you have a certain set of conditions, but it's facilitating that because of the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds they're releasing in response as a stress response to the EMF. So there's whole studies, research papers showing, or scientific papers showing how tracking how like a lot of these wildfires are breaking out near like cell towers. Because around where it's like stronger fields, you're having more of this reaction with the plants. And so there'll be a period of like, of course, heat building and where there's no wind. And then while there's no wind, these VOCs build. And then once that changes, like that can just cause the combustion. I'm just relaying what I've read about. So I haven't done that, research personally, but.
Well, a great example of what you're talking about right now is the situation with these data centers. These giant data centers are being built, and they're starting to realize that there's a sudden spike in cancer.
Yeah.
Like if you own because like I'm always looking at like property in Texas, like where if I finally get a chance to move, where I could move to. And what you have to do is you have to also look into whether this county or this city is working on a data center.
So
that's a huge. Sorry,
I was just gonna say, like data center, like every city has like a Walmart. You know how every big city has a Walmart. Every city's gonna have a data center eventually.
A data, like they're just.
Well, I mean, the talk now is about them. It's the ultimate form of offshoring. They're talking about putting them in space. That was like, I think it was Sundar Pichai last week was talking about.
I'd rather them be in space.
They'll be on the moon.
Than be like across the street from an elementary school.
Yeah, they're talking about putting them on the moon eventually.
Well, they're already on the ocean floor. They're already on the ocean floor.
Data centers are on the ocean floor.
Cooling efficiency, right?
Already. Yeah. Cooling. Right. This is Bill Gates is behind some of those.
Yeah.
Oh, that's never good. I mean, great.
Yeah.
Now
You know,
we're-
you can't like, they're huge too. You can't just go and throw like, you know, how many automobiles they said it was their size of, that you can't just dump those in the ocean, but you could dump this data center that's like, you know, will heat. Yeah, it's helping cool them, but then that's heating the waters and polluting the waters around them with forever chemicals. And then there's, of course, the cabling and then the EMF from that and all these very EMF sensitive creatures in the ocean, like sharks are very EMF sensitive. Of course, things like electric eels, but even like sea lions and seals. And there's just so many, and, you know, it's just kind of similar to how sonar, you know, disrupts whales and other. So like this ocean is like the last wild frontier and it's totally being developed also with offshore wind schemes. And I get into that in my last book as well. And I'll be writing a whole book about like this, you know, green energy scam.
Yeah, that is a giant scam. And like,
totally.
When I hear, it's so funny. I have a joke where I'm talking about like, you know, things that are big today, we had them when I was young. We just had different names for them, you know. And one of them is like when, you know, people talk about climate change, forest fires. We had that, but we called that arson back in the day. You know, that's what we called those fires, arson. And it's just super interesting right now that this climate change stuff is really, it seems to be dying. I think people are starting to wake up to it, but it just seems like rich kids love it because there's no actual goal line. You can just cry about it forever and you can just feel like you're doing something for humanity, but you never actually get anything done. It's just a great way to wake up with when you have everything you want in your life. It's a really great way to have purpose, is to want to save the planet from something that doesn't exist.
Well, ultimate virtual signaling, right? Your EV, you're driving around.
Yeah. It's like the girl
you got
who
your
has
charger in your garage. I got my own charger at home.
Yeah, I care so much. I got my own charger. Or it's like all these climate activists flying to all these climate conferences in private jets.
Oh, but Greta took her multi-million-dollar yacht, like full of like barrels of diesel.
We bought the carbon offsets for that, okay? Just so you know.
Right.
And like, you know, obviously I have major problems with a lot of the stuff that Trump's doing, a lot of it, but occasionally he'll get something somewhat right. And when he got the United States out of the Paris Climate Accord, like that was a brilliant move to do because that was really about destroying the U.S. economy. Because what the whole thing was is like they're going to set a level, okay? This is the level of how much you can put out. Anytime you go over that, you weren't going to get punished. Okay. What they would force you to do is go buy climate credits from the Club of Rome. You're going to have to go buy more climate credits so you can put out more. So China's so bad. I'm not saying the U.S. isn't bad. China's so bad with what they put into our environment that they actually had to raise the number for China just to convince them to join. So at the end of the day, it means it's just a money grab to destroy your economy.
Absolutely, because anyway, what does that mean when you buy, I'm planting this many trees? That can just mean those trees are in a nursery. Like if you cut down old growth forest, you know, to put in, which they're doing, you know, for data centers, for wind turbines, and then you say that you offset that by planting trees somewhere else. I mean, it takes hundreds of years for that. It's not the same thing. And it doesn't mean they're even getting planted. Sometimes they're just like, we have this sapling here. You know, I mean, it's just like
it's such bullshit. It's like the recycling, Ben, where everyone's like, recycle your plastics. And then they follow the truck that is gathering all the recycling, and they follow it, and it just goes right to the same junkyard and dumps the recycling in the exact same place that the trash does.
You can go see that. You can go pay to go see the landfill.
Oh, is there tours?
not a tour, but you could just go.
Well, and you can find countries in Europe that actually try to do recycling, even though it's pretty much a scam there too. It requires like 5 different bins to do it properly, and there are some cities in Europe that you have to put out 5 different bins. I remember Penn and Teller did a bullshit episode about it, 15, 20 years ago, and it was like, do you really want to have like 20 bins and that's the only way to do it, really.
Is it like that thing where like you got to take the cap off the water bottle type of thing, right?
Yeah. And then you have to separate certain kinds of plastics into different bins, and metals have to go in one bin if you want, because they claim they sort it. But.
You go to prison if you don't wash out your yogurt container thoroughly enough.
Exactly.
Well, that is now starting to happen in San Diego, where San Diego now has like trash police, where these people through the city are going to go and make sure your trash and recyclables are properly displayed for the dump truck, the garbage truck. Like, they've now brought the TSA to garbage in San Diego. Hey guys, listen, the crypto market is on fire, okay? Get in while you can. Get in, get out. It's like double dutch. You just wait for the perfect moment, jump, 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 get out, okay? And there's no better place to find out the correct cryptos that get in and get out on than our good friends at Copy My Crypto, all right? Let me tell you about James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Has it pissed you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you still done nothing about it? Yeah, it makes sense. Crypto's complicated and real boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him, okay? It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James. James runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has over 93,000 subscribers right now. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. That's a lot of money. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, called Phantom, went up 692 times. That one call alone retired a number of people, including guys and gals in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. If you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing right now and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay, you'll not only find proof of everything that I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Okay, yes. You missed out on Bitcoin, maybe a little bit by chunks, but you know, there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you miss out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any more time. Go to the site and read it. Okay, once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. And we thank James for sponsoring the show. Hey guys, have you ever dabbled in investing here and there but haven't been happy with how things are going? Yeah, makes sense. Stash helps turn good intentions into consistent progress.
Stash isn't just another investing app. It's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with expert personalized guidance so you don't have to worry about gambling or figuring it out on your own. Stash is simple, smart, and stress-free. Choose from personalized investments and let Stash's award-winning smart portfolio do the work for you. Choose from personalized investments, let Stash's award-winning smart portfolio do the work for you, or pick a combo of both. Stash is there to guide you every step of the way. It's just $3 a month, and that gets you access to world-class financial advice and personalized guidance so you can start investing in your future today. Join over 1 million active Stash subscribers and finally let your money work as hard as you do.
So it's very simple. Don't let your money sit around. Put it to work with Stash. Go to get.stash.com/tinfoil. One more time, that's get.stash.com/tinfoil to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/tinfoil. That's get.stash.com/tinfoil. Get.stash.com/tinfoil.
Paid non-client endorsement, not representative of all clients, and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk. Offer is subject to terms and conditions.
Wasn't it LA that was caught not that many years ago? Like they're recycling that they were supposedly shipping overseas somewhere. They just took it out to sea and just dumped it.
Yeah, I mean, if you say, is it California or LA that did, I go, I don't even need to hear it. Yes. Yeah, they did do that. Whatever evil thing they could do, they're going to do because the people in this city can't conform enough to power. And because the entire business model in Hollywood is to basically project that you are a team player. And you say ridiculously stupid things about 3-year-olds should transition and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just so the powers that be know you're a team player, And they'll never fix anything. They'll never fix anything in this town because the population is so afraid not to work in Hollywood that they're going to let people like Karen Bass just burn it down. Just burn it down. And oh my God, we got to get rid of all the water because it's a safety hazard. You know what else is a safety hazard? Fire.
Way more.
Way worse. I'll take my chances.
I'll drown.
With bacteria in the water over a fire burning down my house. We had a friend who, was going through something. So she was, let's say, living outdoors in her car. And a friend of hers was allowing her to stay at the house. And when the fires happened, he refused to leave his house, and he died in his house.
God.
And it's just none of this is naturally happening. That's the problem with everything we're talking about right now. None of it is a naturally occurring event. All of it is being astroturfed by satanic elites who are just trying to destroy humanity. And the problem with evil is that evil never rests. Good people just want to live their life, be left alone, and they take a moment. They take their eyes off the ball for a moment. And these demons just keep pressing on every phase of your life, your food, your entertainment, your children, your air, it's like it's nonstop relenting. And it's like, I think the days of just being able to be like, whatever is done. Yeah. It's just done. You got to pay attention, unfortunately, all the time, unless you want your kids to grow up in a completely demonic digital prison.
Yeah, digital prison is it. And that's what my latest book, The Red Shoes, Our Devil's Dance with Technology and How We Can Stop It, is really, I've been thinking about this a lot lately too, like how everything is just weaponized against us. Everything good, natural, everything we need just to survive turns into a weapon, like our food, entertainment, everything. So from socializing to just every little thing we do is now like it's weaponized, and they use, psychology against us. They just exploit all of our vulnerabilities, and they do this with technology for sure. But they just from foods, like foods turning in against us as a weapon, foods we need to survive, to nourish us, to make us healthy, have been completely adulterated, have been made to be addictive. And it's always this addictive component. So my latest book is about tech addiction because of how, again, like we're just being exploited. And it's just to enslave us completely.
I've decided I might try to put together a book of old-fashioned remedies. I don't know if I said it on the last episode or I said it before, but so someone, I think it was Johnny, it was on Broken Sim, one of the comments was that, her grandma said that when you have restless leg syndrome to take a teaspoon worth of mustard. And she said they tried it and it worked. And all those old remedies are disappearing now. So it's like, I don't know if there's a book out there that has that, but somebody should put out we should have something where like, send me your old remedies, send me stuff that your grandma told you, send me something that your mom told you that you don't hear anywhere in modern day health or anything like that, and just comprise all of them into one book So people can go, okay, I have this. What do I do? Bang, try to do that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's crazy, Johnny?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's interesting. No, I do wonder about the liability of that. You have to be very careful. This does not constitute medical advice.
This does not constitute. That will be the name of the book.
Yeah.
This does not constitute.
That's so funny.
That's a good name.
Like there's a Mexican one. Like if you get the cold, your grandma always tells you to put vapor rub on your feet and then put a sock over it.
Oh, whoa.
Never heard that ever again. I heard it one time from my grandma. We did it. I mean,
Vapor rub on your feet?
Yeah, like
For what?
For like if you got a cold.
Okay.
So you put vapor rub, and then it like unstuffs your nose. I don't know if then they put vapor rub.
It works
right
pretty
here.
well on your chest too.
Yeah, and they do that, but then it goes away with the cold. But I just, like you said, I've never heard it. Heard it one time from my grandma.
We should do
Gone.
something where it's like, email me your remedies, and then we'll see if they work.
We could do a little.
So I want to get back to. Go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say that's like a lot of things that's just a symptom of the de-skilling that's happening, and all of our traditions that we're losing, especially with technologies coming in, because it's so ironic too. We're living in the age of information. We're supposed to be able to access all of this information, but we're losing the most important wisdom, let's say, that's passed down through generations. We don't have that connection anymore.
Yes, because our culture has convinced us that old people don't know anything.
Well, and they're being drugged and hidden away from us. Yeah. And, I'm sorry, I'm so blown out, by the way. I can't.
You could be blown out. It's totally fine.
I can't seem to stop. The sun's coming right. I didn't really.
I wish the sun would work with us. They know we podcast today.
Blinding me right now. And the camera's not, Zoom isn't the
You look great. It's totally fine. There's no problem with it at all.
Yeah,
There's no problem with it. So it's interesting, the red shoe, because, this is a conspiracy podcast. So, it's very much associated with dark stuff, the red shoes. Is there any correlation between what you're saying and that?
Yeah, I do have a whole chapter on that for all of the conspiracy theorists out there who want to get into that aspect of it. Because the book covers like every harmful aspect of technology, basically. It's like over 600 pages. And I always do like really meticulous research notes. So I have 50 pages of endnotes. But I started with the fable of the red shoes because using it as an analogy of our kind of out of control dance in our relationship with our technology. Because for those, should I just kind of sum up the story?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's like Hans Christian Andersen, so 1700s, he popularized this, and there's been retellings of it since then. But so there's like an orphan girl living in the woods on her own, and she's like at her handmade life. Like she's doing okay. She's, forages her own food and makes her own shelter and her own clothes. And she's made her own pair of red shoes, which are, handmade. And they serve their purpose. And she's proud of them because she made them. But, one day this gilded carriage pulls up. There's this old woman in it who's partly blind, and that has its own symbolism, who invites her to come home with her, and she'll take care of her and clothe her and feed her, and she won't have to work anymore. And, in that moment of weakness, of feeling like her life's kind of hard, she gives into the temptation and steps into the carriage. But what happens is this carriage is really the cage, and it's like the beginning of the end for her, because it's a trap, right? And this is what we're seduced by the technologies, by these tools that are promising to be convenient, promising to give us luxury and easy lives, and always falls short of that promise. And worse than that, it becomes a prison. So her shoes are immediately burned by this woman, like that she made herself. All her clothes are burned. And then she's given new clothes. And when she goes to buy new shoes, like at this point, she's feeling the loss of herself, of her handmade life and her sovereignty. And she's like just basically in a prison. It's a, luxurious prison, but that's what it is. She doesn't have her creative life anymore. She's made to sit there and do nothing. And so she wants to do something with her life, and she wants that back. But the only thing she's offered is like this store-bought pair of shoes. And she grabs for the red shiny ones, because they remind her of the ones she lost. And there's like there's all these like older men in the story too, who are like grooming her, he's like winking at her like, yeah, take these shoes. Right. And then she puts them on, and like, then her, guardian she doesn't really see well. So she doesn't really see what's going on, but she does eventually find out because she wears them to church, and it's super scandalous. And everybody's like, oh, these red shoes, are crazy. So she tells her to not wear them, but then she keeps sneaking them and putting them on. And then there's this like devil figure, red bearded, wounded soldier outside the church who like plays music and tells her to start dancing. And the shoes are doing the dancing for her, as it turns out. And at first it's kind of fun, but then it becomes pretty frightening when she can't stop it and she can't take the shoes off.
Oh no.
So eventually she has to have some, so it becomes so bad that she's whisked away by them into the forest. And for weeks she's like not eating and she's just dancing and she's about to die and she can't pull them off. Nobody can get them off. So she has to axe. There's another older man, a woodsman with, because there were woodsmen back then with axes, walking around. So she has him like come help her and he can't get them off. So he offers to cut her feet off. With the shoes on. And wouldn't that be great? So, that's the only thing that they can come up with. So her feet get cut off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's like brutal loss fairy tales, right? Like these were lessons for kids. Like this is what addiction does to you. This is what this trap will do to you. And we need those lessons. We don't have them anymore. Not really. Like the violence is all glamour and it's like not what it is presented in a way that's really like a lesson learning. So she ends up a cripple and a beggar the rest of her life because she gave into that temptation.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's why
that is crazy. That is crazy.
And it sounded good. You don't have to do anything. You have to work. Everything's given to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's so funny is like, that's exactly what I've been saying. The problem with our culture right now is that everybody wants instant gratification over going through it, the handmade journey of like earning something. It's like nothing against people who take Y karate. Okay, I know I've said this a couple times. I want you to know I respect everybody, but it's like jujitsu versus Y karate. Y jujitsu takes 12 years to get to a black belt. And Y karate is like, 5 years you're a black belt because they want to keep kids interested. So they have to keep giving them belts so they feel like they've achieved something. That is amazing. I never knew that story. Wow. Yeah. That is modern culture.
Exactly. And it's also about like the tool turning into the master. So like the shoes are the tool, yet they start to take over the person who's supposed to be the master of the tool. So there's a role reversal. And the tools today that we're told are tools, they have their own agendas. That's the difference between actual tools, like tools of workmanship that you totally control yourself. Like new digital tools have their own agendas. And they're prompting you. They're using, operant conditioning, behavioral, stuff like psychology to train you, like Pavlov's dogs, like you're being trained to respond to the prompts, right? And so this is why, like, I feel like we're in the red shoes and they're dancing us to our early demise. There's definitely people who are being made crippled by tech use, by addiction. So it's really a real threat. And yeah, the Red Shoe Club, though, you're probably referring to, if you, I could talk about that as well.
Yes.
That dark aspect. You're like, yes, Red Shoe Club. Yeah. So, okay. So I didn't even know. It's funny because when I chose the title and the theme, I didn't even know about that. And I know about a lot of conspiracies, but I hadn't. And it is a real club. So there's a Red Shoe Club in Hollywood. All the Hollywood elite are members and they have private meetings, but it's okay. They're not doing anything weird with them. Don't worry. They just want their privacy. And they call it the Red Shoe Club. They sometimes have galas, and will, for charity or something. But I found so many other Red Shoe connections. So I guess with Satanists, they often wear them because, to hide the blood on their rituals, like spill on their shoes or something, yeah, that's one theory. Or there's also it's made of the victims they sacrificed, their skin or something, and that kind of thing. But I found it interesting. Tom Hanks kept coming up when I did this research.
Yeah,
so,
there we go.
Yeah,
there we go, Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Good Guy. Too good to be true, dude.
Because he was in a movie called The Man with the One Red Shoe.
Oh my God, it's right there.
Yeah.
And then he's always finding solo gloves. So one shoe, one
and
glove.
shoes, one shoe, and he even had. I even found one of his creepy Instagram posts.
Oh, yeah.
Of a kind of pink a pink shoe that's like, I wonder. Oh, and it said like, little girl lost her shoe, and I found that same year, or somewhere in that same year, there was another news story that came up with a missing 16-year-old girl and the same shoe.
Oh,
and I have a picture.
my
Yeah, and
God.
I'm like, what? Yeah, it's horrible. And I'm like, that's so creepy. Yeah, and so creepy Hanks, and then
Creepy Hanks.
and his creepy son, Chet. Not Chet. Yeah, Chet. Right?
No,
Yeah.
Chet is like probably the more normal one. He's just a wigger, and he's just Colin's the weird one.
Colin's. Oh, but Chet's the one that had the.
He's got the pyramid.
Yeah,
he's
the
got the
pyramid
Illuminati
tattoo.
pyramid right here.
Yeah, but he seems more like
yeah.
an idiot. The other one is too quiet for my own good, for me to be comfortable. He has very much his dad's vibe, where he's presented as this kind of like kind soul, quiet soul, while he's slowly in everything in Hollywood.
He did play a serial killer on Dexter.
He played it, probably didn't have to do any research.
It seemed very natural.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's just like he's the one that creeps me out. The too obvious one is Chet.
He's more obvious.
Yeah, but dude, what's the brother's name, Johnny?
Colin.
Colin. Colin's the one that
because he's still. I mean, if you go on his page, he still does the one glove, one shoe thing, but his comments are disabled, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you still have reservations about believing what Tom Hanks really is, just go watch Mouthy Buddha and his whole video. And when he breaks down everything, like he nails Tom Hanks to the wall, nails him with the stuff that you see. Like you have to really look at the picture, and then there's some weird kind of like writing that only a trained eye would see. And when you study that and you go on Yandex and all that stuff, this is all symbolism.
Yeah.
This is all, it's like when we were talking about Balenciaga. What is that?
Balenciaga.
How do you say it?
Balenciaga.
And you go, why is there so much demonic pedophile symbolism in their commercials? Well, because their clientele is demonic pedophiles. They're literally advertising to their clientele. They're not hiding it. They're doing it to the people who know what they're watching. It's so crazy to me, dude.
Well, there's this other, there was a movie with Hanks. I mean, so many of the movies he's chosen to be in too, right? Like one not that long ago, he was, I guess he's on I didn't see it, so I'm trying to remember it, but there was some detail about him taking his shoes off and his feet are like bloody red because of like he'd been standing in them too long. But his captain is Captain Epstein on that ship in that movie. I think it's called Greyhound.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what about like the Gump, where he's doing the bath mitt symbol as he says goodbye? He's got his fingers up and his fingers down. I can't even do it because someone will freeze it. Be
done.
like, look at this guy. Look at his symbolism in his show. He's doing bath mitt. I can't even do it, but it's like two fingers up, two fingers down. And he's right there. And when he's in the military, and then when his girlfriend decides she wants to leave and go get AIDS, and then she's ready to settle down after that. It's like, I have kids and I have AIDS. You want to date?
That's a good time to settle down.
Yeah, it's time to settle
The
down.
funniest thing to imagine.
He also, that was supposedly the origin of the smiley face. Do you remember that part of it? Like he had the mud on him from he just kept walking or running, and he
cleans his face off. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
face.
where the
that's
smiley
what it
face
is.
killer thing stuff
Yeah,
comes.
and the smiley face killer. I know. I was just gonna say.
That is crazy.
Remember it was supposed to be like inspiring the smiley face like bumper sticker thing,
Oh my!
The thing I like to imagine though that is funny is if imagine a world where all of this is just pure coincidence, and every time Tom Hanks finds out he's done it again, he's like, "Damn it! Did we? You know what I mean?"
He's calling this agent. Why do you give me these projects? Everything I do is satanic pedophile cult stuff. I'm a nice guy.
They're gonna think I'm with. Oh, can you imagine? I mean, that.
Yeah, maybe he's just being used.
I mean, he is being used, but if you remember
But yeah.
the first time we find Tom Hanks, his bosom buddies, where he basically goes trans for the show. And, you know, we do that. They do that with black men in Hollywood. They
He did
love.
Philadelphia too. Yeah.
Yeah. But like in Bosom Buddy, he plays a man that dresses like a woman so he could get in this apartment. Like, who does that? He was like, dude, there's nowhere that we can't rent anywhere. The only place that'll take us, but we got to dress like women. And I'd be like, what?
No.
Yeah, I'd rather be homeless at that point.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, and we were like, oh, he's so crazy, Tom Hanks. He's got so much like, you know, so much like he's got real range as an actor. You're like, dude, they're plugging him into these things because he's a player in the system.
I mean, the fact that he was the first celebrity with COVID and he was on lockdown. I mean, come on. And then he was like, there was all that gematria going on with him and his Jim Rummy games and the Corona typewriter. You know, I mean, it was too ridiculous. It was like
he also did what was the book series? The oh god, those
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code. Like that was. I mean, that's
so crazy, dude. Hey guys, listen. Hair loss is a big issue for men. It's such importance to our look and our feel and our vibe, and that's why Hims is out here doing some real work, doing the Lord's work for men's hair, and that's why it's important because hair loss isn't just about hair. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Hims helps you take back that confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life.
Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as a digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100%, as I said, online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns, all in one place.
For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/tinfoil hat. That's hims.com. That's hims with an s.com/tinfoil hat for your free online visit. That's hims.com/tinfoil hat.
Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
You have a book called Shots Fired. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what is that about?
Well, the whole title is Shots Fired, Vaccine Weapons, Medical Tyranny, and the War Against Humanity. So that's what it's about.
And people can't understand that. Now, I'm going to ask you something, and you may agree with this statement. Is everything that the pharmaceutical industry has done, is it all of it bad? Every part of it? Because I have a good friend of mine named Brian Callen. He's a full idiot. I love him to pieces, but guy couldn't say dumber stuff. And I had a friend, Jeff Dye, go on his show, and they got in a big argument about the pharmaceutical company, and Brian regurgitates pharmaceutical company talking points. Is it your belief that all of it is bad? Have they created anything good at all? Is there, so like my daughter's autistic, right? And we get off here on what I think caused that, but there's this new drug that was meant for something else, but when they're giving it to autistic children, it's suddenly, they're instantly talking, and it has to do with enzymes and all that, folic acid or something like that. So is it your belief that everything that, and I'm not trying to pressure, this is just an honest question. Do you think that everything that they've created is bad?
Well, I don't touch the stuff, but anymore. But I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm sure there's some things, some good that's done. I mean, obviously there's good that's done at times with it. But that might just be because we don't have other options because they've gotten rid of all the other options. I think there, generally speaking, there are better options.
Okay.
We may not have, access to. If you don't have other options and that's it, then I'm not going to judge anybody. And yeah, I'm sure lives have been saved or at least prolonged, or some suffering's been eased. I mean, there's certainly wonderful drugs that, can help people with ease their pain. But I mean, there's so many, when you look at long term, there always seem to be negative long term ramifications. And that's where, and maybe some of the surgeries are good, or if you get a good surgeon, or I don't know. I mean, yeah, overall, I'm kind of like anti, but that's what I've chosen to, not do drugs.
Okay. And I just want you to know that wasn't an attack. That was
Oh, no.
that was
I mean,
a genuine question.
Yeah, I have people in my family in the medical profession, and somehow we managed to get along still and have our differences.
That's the
I
key
think
to
that's
life,
true.
by the way. Let it go.
Yeah.
You gotta. If you're not talking to
Yeah.
your family because of political discussion, I don't care how right you are in the debate. You've lost. If you're not talking to your family because you disagree with them on politics, you have lost the spiritual war. You gotta let it go, man. It's not. It's as important as it is. It's still to not talk to your family and is such a dangerous thing. And I had a friend of mine, we were talking about it, and I was telling him that my theory is that, when you we're all friends here, right? We're very close friends. I'm an old man. I don't hang out a lot, but we do things together when we can. And so if we get in an argument, we have to watch the line. Because if we get in an argument so badly, we could not be friends, right? You could be like, F that guy, dude. Dude, he's a piece of shit, what he said to me. But with your family, there is no line because you're never not family. So you could always crank it to the craziest things possible because you're always still going to be family. No matter, you could be like, yeah, I got a brother. I don't talk to him. He's a real jerk, but he's still your brother till you're gone. I mean, that's just even in death, he's still your brother, or your sister or your father or your mother. So therefore the line, there is no line, and people just fly past that all the time. And that's where you got to kind of pick your battles on how far you're willing to go, especially with family. And again, if you're not talking to your family member because they're a Trump or a Joe Biden idiot, you've lost the battle. You've really lost the battle. You gotta let it go, man. You gotta kind of say goodbye. Listen, is the sun killing you right now? I feel
No, it's fine. I'm just giving myself a little relief for a second. Okay. I like it.
Okay. If you move
gives me an
over,
angelic glow.
I feel so bad doing this
Yeah.
while you're getting
it's
beamed
my
in the
fault for
eye.
not. I guess I haven't done one at this time recently.
I'm
and with the
sorry.
sun
If we need to
change, so
take
I
a moment for you
didn't-
to
I didn't
adjust
set
your
it up.
camera. Or
Do you want to
something, too.
take
It's
a
like,
moment to either move
No.
a little bit
Oh,
so
I
you
don't
don't, so you're
It's
not
kind
getting
of-
bombarded?
I
You have
just don't know what's
sunglasses?
gonna work
Do you have
well.
sunglasses? Can you Stevie Wonder it?
It's fine. It's
You're
don't worry.
sure?
Really, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
And it's
all
probably
right.
going to go behind another chem cloud soon anyway.
Oh, thank God for those.
But yeah,
So
thanks God.
we'll go a couple more minutes. We get to an hour. We'll relieve you of your battle
it's-
against the sun.
No,
I
it's not
feel
that,
so
it's
bad
not,
right now.
I'm sorry, just for viewers.
No,
if it's
you're
distracting.
crushing it. Most people listen, so don't worry
Oh,
about it.
okay,
If
that's
you want to
good.
close your eyes the whole time, it's fine. If you just want to be in a zone and you're just meditating out.
Yeah, there you go.
A big
I was going
problem.
to say about the COVID,
Yeah.
sorry, I agree with you about the family thing. I mean, unless of course your family's just outright abusive. I mean, some people
Yeah,
do
physical
distance
abusive and
themselves or
even
something.
beyond
Yeah.
yelling. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the thing about the COVID whole, craziness is that it really was effective at dividing us. Because then it's like, which side are you on? Are you anti? Are you pro, vaccine? Or are you anti-pharmaceutical, pro? I mean, there's no like in between. There's no overlap. There's no discussion. And I could be wrong. I do my research, from the facts I think I've found. I try to put them together cohesively. I'm really about critical thinking and just getting people to ask questions, and myself just asking more questions. And yet it's like you can't ask those questions anymore. It's dangerous. You're a danger to others.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
And it's like we used to be able to talk. It used to be okay before that for me to differ in opinion about medical things. But then suddenly it wasn't okay anymore to have a different, and it was okay if I just wanted to use herbal medicines and I didn't want to use pharmaceuticals. But no, now it's like, no, this is the one truth is this, and it's coming from these mouthpieces working together. Like this is what everybody has to do. And that's what I just thought was so crazy that people aren't questioning that. Because when did we all of a sudden say this is it? This is the medical model that we all agree on.
Yeah.
And we're all supposed to take this, we're all supposed to do this and fall in line with that. And that's, and Kovak backwards is divok, which means to divide in Latin.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, I find it very interesting, and particularly on the left and the extreme right, this either you're with us or against us stuff. They're so great. These think tanks are coming up with bumper stickers saying like the science is settled. And how is the science settled when you quote unquote invented a vaccine in a year? Like, which we all know is absolutely impossible. They were doing this for a long time, revving up to this moment. But the big problem that we have well, first of all, let me just go back to that point, is that the inability to discuss anything is one of the greatest psyops ever pushed on all of us. This notion that someone that disagrees with you politically is a bad person. Now, what I would tell you is that the majority of people don't think that. What we have a real problem right now is that to go viral, you must be extreme at something. It's got to be the extreme. Even if it's the most simple thing, like a baby laughing, it's like that is an extreme to all the videos we see of children crying and all that stuff. But to go viral is not a normal thing. But to be seen on the internet, you must go viral. So these very unnatural moments are now becoming the what's the word I'm looking for? It's now becoming the status quo.
Yeah. It's just this like radicalization of everything.
Right. We're only seeing the most radical version of anything we're seeing it over and over again that is now becoming the norm. When it is not the norm, it's actually the exception. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And that makes it seem, but this is where like kids are especially vulnerable because they're seeing these extremes and they're comparing themselves to them and their lives. And it's obviously turning into like really translating into really extreme unhealthy behavior in offline in order to get that attention, especially when like their parents are so glued to their phones, they won't look at them unless they're doing something that gets their attention. And then, kids learn that like they get their parents' attentions off the screen for a minute if they do something really crazy, and their friends, and they make friends that way too. Like you have to just do more and more extreme things. And then the parent then turns the phone to the kid to like film your kid and then puts it on their Facebook or something. I mean, it's just really warped now. It's like it's the comparisons, the unrealistic comparisons going on, especially now that like AI is entering the picture and creating fake people completely. Like before, the filters were bad enough, and like kids are comparing themselves with like filtered images of other kids and feeling bad about themselves. And now you've got like fully made up people.
Yes.
No,
that aren't even real at all.
Yes, I agree.
What I was saying is these kids are like trained and not really trained. They're just, imagine you're a 1 or 2 year old and the people pull out a camera and everyone starts cheering. So you already know at like 1, 2, 3 years old that the camera is good. So you're becoming, you're ready for pictures. Cause I see my sister pulled out her phone and that girl's already.
Yeah. And
you're just like 2, 3, like she was trying to take a picture of her, very wholesome. But then the kid saw the picture and it became not a wholesome moment. It became I'm going to go on Instagram.
Work it, girl. And do your thing.
And I was like,
2-year-olds.
Yeah, 2-year-olds don't need to have angles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A 2-year-old should not know its good side.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's become devastating. And the reason the internet is, everything about the internet is devastating. But one thing is these algorithms now are shaping our reality. And people don't realize, like, I realize that the algorithm is working me when everyone on my timeline agrees with me, or I agree with them. It's feeding me a certain stance that I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. Oh, I agree with that. I'm like, where's all the dissension? Where's the stuff I don't agree with? Which is hilarious because that's what happened on Blue Sky. They created this super progressive Twitter, and all the progressives hated it because they had no one to fight with because they love that drama. So they all fled from it. They're like, I don't like this. We all agree. Let's go over here and fight with these guys. But the biggest problem is because when we get back to COVID, is people's inability to understand the devastating effects of the vaccine. They don't realize the number of deaths that have happened because of it, into the millions. Now, let's not even get into what they're saying happened in China, where the Chinese government, which has done it before, murked hundreds of millions of Chinese. That's what the data is showing right now. Is that hundreds of millions of Chinese were basically, almost half their population was taken out because the one-child policies made it impossible to sustain taking care of the poor and the elderly. So guess what they did? They got rid of the poor and they got rid of the elderly. This is based on how much salt they import, the amount of funeral homes that have opened, the amount of children that they've lied about that are in schools. Because China's whole thing is like, we have 1.4 billion people that they've been saying for a decade or two, which is impossible when you have a one-child policy. It's impossible to have that many, to sustain that number over decades when you're not having children.
And with a really high suicide rate as well.
Extremely high suicide rate that nobody's
particularly from the Foxconn buildings. I don't know if you know about that iPhone manufacturer.
Yeah.
They had to put suicide nets up. That was the response to the suicides, is putting nets.
Yeah, I agree. And Tim, what's his name from Apple?
Cook.
Tim Cook. No, we don't go there for cheap labor. We go there because they're the
people,
only.
They're so wonderful.
They're so smart, and they're just smarter. They're just really. Are they smarter to know that? Why are you jumping when they have suicide nets there? Are they that smart? They're
He's
just
also
absolutely
saying it's great there. It's like they have restaurants and movie theaters, and I'm like, oh, heaven on earth, then, right?
Yeah,
it's like a 15-minute city model, basically, is what that compound is.
Listen, Shannon, I can't do this to you anymore. You look like you're battling.
No, I know.
Shannon, I just want to say to you, this is an excellent episode. We've had a great time.
Okay.
Let's figure out another time to get you on when the sun isn't battling your eyeball.
Make sure I have a curtain.
Okay.
Next time.
Yeah,
That'll
next
work.
time. I just want you to know we did an hour. It's a great conversation. I loved it. This isn't that it didn't go well. I just can't take you. Just getting destroyed by the sun right now. And according to Santo Spinacci, you should be doing great right now. But
I like it. I'm enjoying the sun, but yeah, it's
a lot.
I don't get much of it. It's probably going to go down in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
actually.
well, let's come back again and do it. We'll have other things to discuss. I can't do this to you. You just look like you're getting, the sun is like right in your eyes, like a police light trying to get you to admit to a murder you didn't commit. You know? Tell us why you were there. I wasn't there. Why are you there? They just got the light in your eyes.
Well, if you want, I do have it. I think I could set up something else real quick. If you want,
it's up to you. It's like I just don't want to put you out. We hit our hour, and that's usually what we need. So. I would love to keep going with you, but I don't want to put you out. It's just, it's a great conversation, right?
Well, of course. If you don't mind, I'll give me a minute and I'll see what I can come up with.
We'll give you a minute. We'll give you a minute. All right, we're back. The sun is no longer our enemy. We're in it. We have a different kind of ambiance right now. I like it. I feel like we're at one of those old school Italian restaurants where the lighting is really nice. You ever see that? I love that stuff. Anyways, the amount of, it's almost demonic what these social media platforms are doing. It's not almost, it is. The destruction of truth. Like, I get why these guys have Mark Zuckerberg on, because it's a big get and he's a master of mankind, and people will tune in because he's on there. But really what he's done to humanity is absolutely disgusting, and he shouldn't be allowed on these platforms. I think there's things that people do that they shouldn't be allowed to come back from. When Patrick Bet David had Anthony Weiner on, I love that he brought up Frazzle Drip, but in reality, we shouldn't be platforming Anthony Weiner in any way.
Or Netanyahu.
Or
at least not
Ted
give him
Cruz.
a BJ. I mean,
yeah, it's like, but the reason I bring this up is because the information highway has been just annihilated. Like these tech companies have become like Somalian pirates where they're just raiding the truth all the time and only letting certain things through. If you look at my Instagram now, do you know what Instagram has done to me now? If I have a clip that does so well on my pins, they won't allow me to pin it anymore. They do not want anyone seeing that I got 1 million views on their platform. So now I have to take it down. Anytime any of my video gets close to 1 million or over 1 million,
They won't let you pin it.
It will suddenly disappear. I'm like, where did this go? And I'll go down there. It is. I go repin it. That option is no longer there.
They really hate you over there.
They hate me, dude.
Like that Exorcist video was great and it did decent.
Yeah. And you put Sam Tripoli on it. It is like I have my pictures on a dartboard at Meta.
Can't wait till we
And
find.
they're just like.
The one day you're gonna get that list and you're gonna be like everybody banned from Instagram, YouTube, and you're gonna be top 100.
No, I'm worse than banned. I actually believe being shadow banned is worse than banned, because when you're banned, you could use that as kind of like a marketing tool of like, hey, look, they're coming at me, support me.
Like Nick, for instance, that's banned.
it's why the mute is better than the block.
Yep. You're totally right. But the reason I bring this all up is because there's this one guy that would, for a while there, he was just yelling at me about, dude, how dare you talk about vaccines like you do? You don't understand how many lives they saved. And then I would just send him every single link that somebody sent me to how dangerous these vaccines are, to the point he begged me to stop sending him to him. Please stop sending me these. You're all wrong. I go, I'm not wrong. You've just been lied to and you don't understand that, and that is the danger of these social media apps. What are your thoughts?
The thing is, you can't prove that you saved a life in these cases. So that feel like, oh, they would have died. That's not something that's provable, so that makes it really easy to manipulate public opinion and statistics. And but these algorithms, like you said, the shadow banning is compared to like being muted instead of blocked, is like what's happening just with information. The way they're censoring information online now is really it's sneakier. It's really the algorithms have changed so that you just can't find it. They don't remove it, you just can't find it.
Yes.
So if the search engine is rigged in a way to not bring you the relevant search result, it brings you the result it wants to show you. Like, I know as a researcher how much harder it's been in the last few years to do my research than it was even just like say pre-COVID, in fact, now I always save my articles offline because they just disappear. The links get taken all the time, or I can't find them again. And so I have all of them saved as PDFs. I made the mistake of not doing that for the first book I co-authored with John Hamer. Or actually, in some of that, I had just like bookmarks, and then my computer crashed. I had to get a new computer. I lost all of that. And then when I tried to find them again, I just couldn't find them.
Yep.
So it's really amazing. And one of the things that I point out in my book a lot, in the new book, is how our time is wasted while being online. Like, it's supposed to be so efficient and all these new tools for efficiency. And it's like the opposite, because they're all designed to maximize what they call user engagement, like us being the users, like drug users. And so to that end, they make things less efficient. Maybe with this like illusion of efficiency, but it's meant to like waste your time. So when I search, even when I do like a really strict search, and I use the quotes, and I'm trying to like say I want this exact thing, and it should come up with those results. It's like all the other things that are not related.
Yes.
Or that are like, if you're saying like that deaths from vaccines, it'll be like all the fact checks why there aren't more deaths from vaccines, or why, like the other argument. And then so, what amazes me is the people who keep saying, well, arguing for like the mainstream argument as if I've never heard it. I'm like, that's all I hear. And like, you're not looking at any other arguments, and you can't even find that information. Or if you do, it's always, again, the same, like, we checked this. And the fact checkers they say themselves, they're not fact checkers. It's their opinions. It's like, nobody has the monopoly on truth and facts. It's just like that, using those words is just another way of like manipulating. So, but yeah, it's just such a time suck and time waste. And I mean, you have to go through at least several pages often to get anything that is relevant. So
no, I agree with you on that. I also agree that, you put in something into Google, and Google is now becoming obsolete. They're hemorrhaging numbers. They've destroyed their products so much that people don't even want to use it. And now these chat bots like ChatGPT, people are starting to use those, and then those now are censoring. That goes against our policy. And then you're like, answer it. They're like, fine. But eventually it's not going to do that. So I forget what I was looking for exactly, but I had to go to Yandex, which was the Russian version of Google. And instantly in the front, bang, 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 everything I was looking for.
Well, do you remember when you used to type in whatever on Google and it would give you like 1,000 pages? And now it only gives you 10 or like whatever it wants to give you, and there's no more.
And then it's like, after this, the results are all the same. You don't want to see it. And you're like, oh, no, I do want to see it, because you don't want me to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. And, when we look back, we probably didn't appreciate how great the internet was around 2015, which was kind of the peak of it. People were starting to do their own research more. People were connecting, discussing their research. And, of course, Hillary had to come in and try to, hijack the primary, and everyone called her out. And that's when they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, you guys know too much. We're going to start ruining everything. And that's when internet censorship really kicked in. So try to find these old articles about, the cops who all looked at Anthony Weiner's laptop. Good luck finding any of those links.
It's funny. The first time you mentioned that, we did find it again. But I mean, do you want me to find it again?
See what you can find. There's like actual articles that were written about it. I'm not saying just a blog post, but actual articles written about the situation. And because I try to do it, you're like, where is all this info? You can't find it. So, and it's like, good luck finding about the black special ops that were at the Boston Marathon bombing. That's really hard to find.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nothing is real. That's what you need to understand. But it's also like, it kind of gets you to this point where you start to realize that your job isn't to wake people up. Your job is to put the information out there. And those who want to wake themselves up, that's how they do it. Like, putting guns to people's heads it's not happening, dude. I mean, you just got to keep putting out enough information. And I do feel like people are starting to wake up to the dangers of the political elites, the dangers of certain ideologies like, feminism and socialism, even though we just voted in a socialist. I didn't have anything to do with it, but in New York City, it's like, good luck, brother. Good luck with that, because we've seen what happened in LA. You saw what happened in San Francisco.
Okay, now that you say that, it's kind of scary. You think it could happen here in California?
What?
Socialist?
Dude, it is happening. What are you talking
California.
about?
Yeah.
It's like even worse than anywhere else.
Yeah, but he's obviously claiming it. Over here, at least, they're not like full on.
Yeah, I mean, it's they can call it whatever they want. It's like Karen Bass is a literal Marxist. She used to go to Cuba to listen to Fidel Castro's talks. Now, what I will tell you, and Pasta is right. I thought that Putin's grandfather was Jewish. He's not. I owe Pasta an apology. But what these Latin American countries do versus what our college campuses are teaching. Like, the Marxism down there is that they know that international corporations and the U.S. government are trying to rid them of all their natural resources. So they're pushing back on that. So it's the people versus the government, right? That's not what's happening in America. Cultural subversion is happening, and Bolshevikism is happening in America, which is this slow destruction of the country from the inside, just like they did in China, just like they did in Russia, just like they did in Germany, and to a point what they did in India. You know, they're destroying it through the inside through Bolshevik brainwashing of these kids who come from rich families that benefited from the capitalism in which they are railing against. And it's being done on, and so Karen Bass's Marxism is not the Marxism of a tribe in Latin America that doesn't want the government to cut down their lands. It's a totally different thing. She wants destruction of society so that they can have their version, which is seizing the means of production, which is hilarious that they think they're for the people, but the end result is a totalitarian government which controls everything. It's absolutely insanity, the mental gymnastics that these rich kids are doing in this thought of freeing man, but really you're just handing power over to the elites again at the same time. Like pure capitalism, which is not what we have in America. We have crony capitalist socialism. We do not have pure capitalism. All of these permits and all this stuff is set there. It's called fee of entry to stop poor people from being able to participate in the marketplace, to go against rich people, which don't want to do any work. They just want to create stuff and have poor people do all the work so they make all the money. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But that's what's happening. So you go, well, you think that could happen in California? It has happened in California. Cultural Marxism, everything that Marxism, like the Bolshevik Marxism is about, has happened in San Francisco. The elevating of alternative lifestyles, the creating a war between men and women, the elevation of minorities, to demonizing the majority, all that is Bolshevikism, and it's happening here as we speak. So if you're a New Yorker and you're some rich progressive white woman who simultaneously believes that the cops are racist and law enforcement is racism, and then at the same time you're begging people to protect you from what you voted for, like it's literally mental gymnastics. And they can see how disastrous it's been in San Francisco. All the beautiful businesses that made San Francisco such an artistic, wonderland, where people would go there to like experience culture, like old school culture and beautiful arts and restaurants and entertainment is gone, dude. It's all gone. The wharf is empty. That beautiful wharf where people around the world would travel. Like San Francisco was our Rome, People would come there to experience the culture of that. Gone, dude. Dead. Gone.
Well, that's like culture everywhere, and it's because of technology. And this is like the great leavening or, leveling kind of thing that's happening to make us all into one homogenous, like uniform, totally controlled society on a global level. And it is, like you said, it's like, the government, we don't have real capitalism here because we don't have true free trade. It's always like government involvement and subsidies. And then, of course, the groups lobbying the government and these private public partnerships. And it's interesting how much people seem to always want like more government intervention to
crazy.
Create all these problems that are created. And just like they turn to more tech to solve the problems tech has created. And to me, it's like all I see is like Brave New World kind of script, playing out.
Yes.
Or a combination of that in 1984. But so much with like you're saying, just the conditioning of the young people as they're being raised into like their ideology will change everything. That's the revolution. It's not like, they think they're doing good things. Kids are always wanting to change things and they get, they're idealists and all you have to do is like feed them. tell them, the media is telling them like what the wrongs are, what they should be focused on. And when they're actually, ends up ignoring what they really should be focusing on. And then they end up being enslaved because of that. I mean, it's totally evil, but it's definitely like a complete manipulation. But it's just amazing how quickly, like you're seeing the change of San Francisco, but like pretty much every major city and like all over the world. And especially because in COVID was one of those, moments that really pushed things over, and it was intentional and it was planned because we were leading up to that with our tech use, but it was one of the like tipping point events to further it and to, hasten it. Bring the pace up. And even there were like articles saying like that it helped us warm up to machines. Like before it, we were like, oh, I don't really want to like be on my machine all the time, or like, I don't really like robots that much or want robots in my home.
Yeah, I don't.
But now it's like, yeah, but robots are like, machines don't have germs and humans are like carrying them, which is like absurd. These machines can harm us. They do harm us, not just from EMFs, but chemicals. Like released in the gases just from the batteries that we're using and how they heat up, and they release like fluoride gas. A lot of people don't know that, and so it's like there's so many hazards attached to our machines that we don't hear about. They're painted as like, yeah, they're so great and they're so because they're sterile or something, But I mean, the psychological impacts of lockdowns. That is long lasting, and that's intentional. This all comes out of all the CIA control experiments over decades of isolation, how to break somebody. Breaking a person happened most easily with sensory deprivation and isolation.
Yes.
And both those things were used. And the best scenario is if you have sensory deprivation. And when I say that, I mean like removal from the natural sensory rich world. And then you're bombarded with this artificial one.
Yes.
And which is actually sensory deprivation. We're overwhelmed and overloaded with audio and visual, sensory input, and it's two-dimensional. But it's nothing like the richness of the natural world and that sensory input. And we're not getting that. So that's deprivation. And then when you couple that with information propaganda being fed to you every day while you're under those like kind of torture, that kind of environment, that's how you not just break somebody, but you completely alter them and brainwash them, mind control them. I mean, it's just
I couldn't agree more. And you see the results of it. It takes so much to get people to get out of their houses now. We're destroying local businesses through Amazon. Amazon is an extension of the U.S. government through DARPA, just like Facebook is, just like Google is. All these things are fascism, consolidation of power through the government. And these idiots just don't even understand what they're doing. So I want to end on this real quick because this is my favorite subject. Germ theory versus terrain theory. I'm a terrain theorist. Johnny is a card-membering germ theorist. He just refuses to accept it.
I'm the original terrain theory where we believe that your terrain matters quite a lot, but that microbes exist, yes.
I'm not saying microbes. We're talking specifically viruses. Because I tell people, hey, dude, this isn't real. They're like, oh, sounds like you have AIDS. I don't have AIDS.
But he's got AIDS.
But he's got AIDS. No, I don't have AIDS. Look how fat I am. Do you think you can be fat and with AIDS?
You got the Magic Johnson AIDS.
I got I wish. Give me my $1 billion.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on germ theory versus terrain theory and the existence of viruses as most people understand what a virus is? Now, I'm not saying, okay, what's your opinion now, say?
Well, yeah, and I get into that in Shots Fired in depth, but virus comes from the Latin, it means poison. So poisons do exist. They have never actually isolated a virus genome as they illustrate them to us under an electron microscope, which is completely possible. Like before, so they came up with the idea of a virus before they were able to see it. And this happens a lot in science. It's like, we think this exists, so we're just going to go with this for a while. So germ theory, encompassed other microbes like that. Yeah, we can say exist, bacteria, although even then the way that they look at the bacteria and identify them involves a lot of like, you take the sample cell culture and then you do a lot of things to it, like with dyes and sometimes heat. And, so is that really what's in the body? It's altered. By the time you see it under a microscope, it's not what's in the body. We can't really see what's in the body, as it is in there. Maybe now with the nano, remote
Bots,
control, bot things with the cameras. I don't know. But then they said, okay, well, if we don't have so they thought, well, they believed in germ theory because of Louis Pasteur, who was like, he was a fraud, and he was pushed forward with like he was the favorite of Napoleon's court, and so Béchamp was like his rival, and he stole a lot of Béchamp's work, took credit for it, but then he and he did all these like experiments with vaccines, with rabies and things. And anyway, I get into the history of vaccines. I'm going off a tangent here, but what I'm getting to is that they thought they just identified certain bacterium as being responsible for certain diseases. Which is already a simplistic model of disease to say like, well, this one thing, that's microscopic, like produces this one disease, therefore we can make one cure, like a vaccine or something else, right? And that's like kind of like an allopathic model of medicine, but it's not what everybody's always believed, and they don't. So that's germ theory. Like this, you get exposed to the microbe and you can get sick with these symptoms. Although that never happens all the time. Like people can be exposed to it and not get sick. So then they'll say, well, there's other factors. So isn't it the other factors that cause disease then? Why is it the germ at all? If it's the other factors too, you can't really have both ways in my mind, but that's what they do. Anyway, so they said there must be something smaller we can't see in these instances where we can't find bacteria that we can, point our fingers to. So once there was that electron microscope developed, they never actually were able to see the viruses still, but they said they were seeing virus particles instead.
Yes.
And then they take up the genome.
Yes.
So to date, the only viruses have ever been identified according to their own kind of funky science, right? So their own, like, this is how we do things. Stefan Lanka, you're probably familiar with him. He was the only one who's really identified viruses, the whole genome, and those were only found in plants and specifically in sea algae. And they were seen to be benign and perhaps even beneficial. So they were never identified in animals and humans ever. And I know I'm personal friends with James McComiskey. He's authored several books. He wrote the foreword to Shots Fired for me. And he's taken it upon himself to try to get this evidence to say, he's gone to like all the officials and authorities and said, like, show me. He's like, I want to see this paper and that says that you've identified, and isolated this virus. And all that, they're always coming back to him and saying, we can't bring up that record because no such record exists because we do not isolate viruses. This is like the National Laboratory in Dublin, and he lives in Ireland. They say it repeatedly, we do not isolate viruses. So nobody has done this.
Yes. It's called Koch's postulates, right? And they had Koch's postulates. They couldn't fulfill the requirements of Koch's postulates, which is scoop out a virus out of a host, isolate it so it's just that, take that isolated virus, put it in another host, have it replicate the exact same disease, the same actions happen, scoop it out of that host, isolate it again, put it in a third host, and see it replicate. It's never happened. So they had to come up with something. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's along the lines of like Rivers requirements or something like that, which completely and utterly is bullshit, dude. It's like they just paid this guy to come up with a way that sounds important, that sounds like it's Koch's postulates, but it's not. Like they pollute the petri dish with all the leukemia, all this other stuff, which says, again, going back to the particles. Okay, so he's been on a show. I want to get him on again, Dr. Andrew Kaufman. He's a blessing in humanity because he's smart enough to know their speak. So he'll take any time that someone comes out of a paper that says they've proved Koch's postulates with COVID viruses, he reads the findings, right? And on top of that, he goes to the little the footnotes where they find like the actual experiment that was done. He'll go to that, read that, and at the end of it, they always say, this does not fulfill Koch's postulates. Every fucking time. But we live in an era where lying isn't shunned. because there's billions of dollars involved, they will lie through their fucking teeth right to you that that they fulfilled the requirements. And it's never happened. Ever. And people cannot come to grips with that. Ever.
They'll even go as far as to like title a paper, isolation of coronavirus, blah, blah. And then inside the paper, they say, we didn't isolate it.
100%. It happens all the time. And, cold sores and anything downtown, right, is the exact same thing.
Oh, because I don't know how much I believe it, but everybody has herpes.
It's like when I was young. When I was young, someone got cold sore. You know what they say to them? Oh, you're really stressed out. I'd hear it all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, you must be really stressed out because you have a cold sore. And now they're telling you have some kind of virus.
Never had one, so couldn't tell you.
Okay, Johnny. Well, you're a unicorn. Okay, everybody else has somebody they know who's had a cold.
No,
you don't know anyone who's had a cold sore.
No. I said I've never had one.
Okay, I got 2 unicorns on the show, but everybody else has had a cold sore. Right?
I get stressed all the time.
Okay, Johnny. Well, you're the anomaly doesn't prove.
The 2 anomaly, the 2 out of 3 people in this room,
which is 2 out of 3 out of billions of people. Okay, Johnny.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Okay,
sure,
Johnny.
Boss.
Okay, guys.
Sure,
guys, any of your findings, please run it through Johnny because he wants to know if he's done it or not.
Sure,
if Johnny hasn't done it, your findings are wrong.
Okay, boss.
Okay, Johnny, that's what I thought. So your thoughts on that, Shannon? Anything?
Sorry, cold sores?
Cold sores and the sores downtown.
Well, I've had them and I wasn't like intimately involved with somebody at the time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. It's just.
Have you been involved with Johnny intimately at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Sam's got his fingers crossed real tight.
Okay. Let's just really hope. That's the whole thing. Like when you try to tell people AIDS doesn't exist, they it's the old saying, it's easier to fool somebody than to convince them they've been fooled. They just can't come up with that. Even Kurt Metzger, who I love with all my heart, who I think is one of the funniest, smartest, fastest guys I've been blessed to call a friend. Like when you bring up the virus, he just can't come to grips with that. The lie is so big, and it's been able to happen. I go, well, what about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? The entire world thought that was real.
We're seeing it right now with Venezuela.
With
half the people who are Trump supporters just can't believe that this guy is, just
that Clay Thompson guy who runs was outkicked the coverage. Was like, maybe we should go into. I go, Clay, get on a plane and go fight this war.
Yeah.
When you then tell us how it went.
These guys in bass boats 2,000 miles away suddenly going to show up on our shores. Yeah, sure.
It's just over and over and over again. It's mind blowing. Because people are simple and they're good people and they're trusting people. And people think it's exhausting to question authority. They just think it's really not. It just assume they're lying to you and have them earn your trust. Don't believe anything that comes out of their fucking mouths. Anything that the news or the government tells you, assume it's a lie and make them earn your trust. Because I have yet to be proven true. Go on. Sorry, Shannon.
What I love is when they lied and then like say like, and that happened and people find out and it's known and then they go on and say something else and we're supposed to believe them and they believe them again, like a president or whoever, some authority, and they'll just somehow I don't know, just forget they lied before. Like the people's memories are so short, or the attention spans are short is what I should say. And that's intentional. And that's just they're shortening, again, because of tech use and internet use and addiction.
Yep.
And it's like you're constantly distracted. And that serves the purpose of the short memories so that we don't remember all the lies. Like I remember with Obama, okay, I was super excited. I'll admit, back then I was all excited about Obama because I lived in DC and I was on the streets, celebrating with all my Black brothers and sisters too. We're finally. And here we are, and I admit it. I got duped because I believed all that, his change thing and all of that. I was all caught up in it.
Me too, dude. Not Johnny though.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, he saw through it.
I did too. He saw through it.
But he then I saw the things happening. He did the promises he didn't keep, and then doing other things. We were supposed to get out of Iraq like immediately, and it never happened. And I'm like, well, so I'm decided I don't believe him anymore. But everybody else seemed to just keep forgiving him, and that's the thing. It's like the team thing too, right? That team mentality and the group mentality, and it's like, well, you got to keep supporting the same team, no matter how crappy they are, no matter how much they lie to you, and destroy your life.
It's just crazy to me how 2 years after we elected Trump and he's been a disaster, there are things I like that he's done. I like him way more than I like Biden or Obama or Bush or anything, but that doesn't mean That's like I like Freddy Krueger over Jason Voorhees. It's like, which murderer is your favorite murderer?
Yeah, I'd rather die in my dreams than
at least I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
At least die in your sleep. Thank you, Freddy Krueger. Right? It's just absolutely ridiculous. But it like this notion where you see like political commentators who got a lot of stuff right going, I'm gonna vote all Democrat next in the midterms and blah. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you just 2 years later going back on everything you thought 2 years ago? Because they're incapable of going, I can't be on a team. They have to be on a team. And it's like, listen, make it so bad on them that the lie must be completely and utterly illuminated. You have to do that. Voting, if we get enough people to vote third party, it's going to be impossible for them to rig it. Now, what they'll do is they'll send somebody in and just completely and utterly co-opt that group. But if we're smart enough, and we're not going to vote our way out of it, just so you know, you could vote for clowns, you could vote for jesters. I prefer jesters because they tend to tell you the truth. But you can vote for Care Bears and Smurfs and all these people that you think are going to. It's not going to happen. But nothing's going to happen in this country as long as we have fat homeless people with iPhones. It's never going to happen. Once you have people so comfortable enough that they're overweight living outdoors and still have Wi-Fi service, it's just never going to change. It's got to get so bad that they wake the up, and they're just smart enough to give us enough to keep us complicit.
It's the soma.
Yeah.
Take your soma.
Yeah.
It's a typical soma. It's like it's a drug, and people are just they're drugged, one way or the other, and drugged into their stupor. And I think also our brains are being destroyed by tech use intentionally, and that we're basically being lobotomized. And this all comes out and we can talk about this another time. But I like to give the history of like the birth of the internet and what was behind that. But like with cybernetics, which was cyber means to steer. And that was the whole idea was like the cyborg just means like a controlled person or like part machine, but like cyberspace, it's controlled. And the internet was meant to be a system, global communications and a new matrix to control us and steer us within it to create the perfect psycho-civilized person, as they called it. This was like the era of lobotomies. There were like 50,000 lobotomies in North America in the 40s and 50s. And then the brain experiments with the electrodes and microwave frequencies. And that's what Elon Musk is doing with the, Neuralink. He's calling telepathy now. But this is all about, destroying brains so that you can control people and turn us into zombies. It's basically what it's about. And there were even like lobotomies with the ice pick. I don't know if you know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, it happened to the Kennedy daughter that they just basically lobotomized and threw her away in a home for a while. And it's like I just did a show called Doom Scrolling. It's my clip show we do reaction videos to. We do reactions to the videos. And this one woman, it's a 9-minute video. But she breaks down about how, like, is it possible Elon Musk is our modern day, what's his name? Mangala? Is that how
Mandela.
Mangala. And because
you're talking about Mangala the doctor?
Yeah. Because what they're noticing is that these detention centers in Arizona and Miami, Florida are right next to Neuralink centers. And that people are dying mysteriously in these immigrant centers of things of brain neurology,
died of brain surgery,
and all this stuff, which is very similar to the monkeys that died in Elon Musk's early experiments trying to put Neuralinks in the monkeys.
Fascinating. I wonder what they tell them. Like, hey, you get free citizenship if you survive the surgery. Come on
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I'm sure that's it. Or these guys are such bad dudes that not even their home
Bad hombres.
bad hombres.
Or how
even-
about the missing kids they never found the parents to during COVID? Remember all those kids that they just
Yeah,
found?
I
Like,
mean,
hey, where'd
God,
those kids
God
go?
help us what happened with those kids. You know, it's really dark. It's probably some orphan train shit too, where like
God.
they're just putting them in American families and saying they were given up for adoption, just like they did with orphan trains in the 1800s and early 1900s. But yeah, these people are having weird deaths that look similar to the monkey experiments that Elon Musk was doing.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because this is what 50 years ago, 70 years ago, they were doing this already. Putting electrodes in patients' brains. They were using people without their consent. Like they'd go to psych ward, hospitals, prisoners, kids. There was this one doctor, his name was like OJ Andy, not Simpson, OJ Andy. And he was like burning holes in the brains with electrodes of 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. They're just monsters. I mean, this is like,
Trust
Musk
the
is just
science.
yeah, he's just right. Musk is just like one of the new brain doctors of today. This research hasn't stopped.
Yes.
We've been doing it for a long time, and
Yes.
it's just continued. And they've just used, whoever they think is like an expendable human, they can get away with it.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
It's really disgusting. Great episode, Shannon. Glad we could fix the sun problem.
Thank you.
It was really pissing me off, that sun.
I'm sorry.
No,
I should've
don't
just tried to move
apologize.
earlier.
It was an actual great episode. We thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. One more time, tell them where they could find you.
Yeah, Wi-Fi-refugee.com. So Wi-Fi refugee with a hyphen in it, and all my books and podcasts and blogs, all there, one place. So, and you can hit me up for a signed copy if you're in the U.S. I mean, I'll do international too, but you're just gonna have to pay for shipping.
Respect. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a great episode. And
Thanks so much.
anytime, all the time. Let's break down the episode. What'd you guys think of Shannon Rowan, our new BFF?
Yeah, I love her. She reminds me how often we need the EMF coverages and all that stuff. Sometimes I just forget about it.
We're going to get into that because we actually have an affiliate if you guys need it. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was great. I mean, she hit on all my favorite subjects. And, it's like she's walking the walk. I mean, how many times do we talk about something we just go back and do it anyway? It's like here, it's like, nah, dude, I'm off the grid. I'm away from all this crap.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, she just lives off the grid. I mean, she obviously has Wi-Fi because she uses computers, right?
Well,
I
she's
mean,
probably hardwired.
Hardwire. You could hardwire that. Like this one's
we're all
hardwired.
hardwired,
Yeah.
yeah, hardwire that shit. But anything else is just chaos, dude. And it's just everything is demonic. It's all Luciferian, Malachian fucking chaos. And they're just trying to make us so sick and dumb that we can't even participate in our own lives. I mean, she's totally right. Like when we're talking about remedies, like they're killing all that knowledge. They're killing all the knowledge. Yeah. It's actually ridiculous, dude. Real quick, if you go to samtripoli.com, bro, big dates coming. The end of my month. See me in the Why You Can in 2025, Minneapolis. The New Year's Eve at my favorite club on planet Earth, the Dojo of Comedy. And then finally, Word War Debate. It's going to be in Atlantic City on the 10th. Everybody's loving it. It's literally, I'm so excited. I can't wait to announce the card. It's going to be fire, dude.
Nice.
It's going to be fire. Big names banging, dude.
It's going to be great when the card, it's going to be like the UFC when the card gives a show like, oh shit, so-and-so's on the card.
You're going to do a face-off, dude? We're going to get a face-off before
I would love that. We got to make it so they're in two different places, but they look like they're matching each other.
And then when it gets really big, they do how they do the training? How they train.
We're going to get Ben Swan to do like Dana White announcements. All right, we're here to announce the card for the inaugural World War Debate. First debate up. Bang, bang. Dude, what we're doing is going to be so crazy. It's so cool what we're doing. I'm so excited to see it. I'm going to be at the desk doing commentary.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, how many mind blowns are you going to get from Sam?
Oh, Oh my God.
It's just like Rogan, like you guys are all gonna go back.
Yeah, very excited about that. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I mean, listen, a lot of you guys are complaining on all my shows on YouTube that there's like too many ads. If we don't do it, they're going to shadow ban us even worse than they are. We got to kind of play ball with them. They have to get their ad money off our videos.
I've been cutting them back extensively on Broken Sam, at least.
They play them less. If you take ad less, they play
Yeah,
them
I mean,
less.
like, I don't know how to do that. So, I mean, but here's the thing about Go Up. Here's the thing about samtripoli.com. All of the videos are there. All the videos. If you don't like it on samtripoli.com, they're on Rumble. They're all on Rumble.
And they drop there faster. I get them from there.
Yeah.
So trust me, if you got them on YouTube, you could have got them here a couple of days faster.
samtripoli.com, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, Substack. They're all there. So if you don't like the ads going there, there's a ton of places you can watch them. I prefer you either do Rumble or samtripoli.com. It helps our numbers. So go check that out. Premium content. I mean, I'm doing shows with Kurt Metzger. I'm doing shows with the boys from whatever this is, Austin Picard and Brad Binkley. Those are fun. I mean, dude, every time I do whatever this is, I learn a fact from one of those guys every time. Each one of them just drops bombs on me. It's the best. So go check that out. Putting out as much as I can. Talk about Cash Daddy's premium content, Johnny.
Yeah, Howie he's always on there there's a really good Isaac Weissup's over there, one of the OGs of this.
Oh,
podcast.
one of the Mount Crushmores, dude.
Yeah, he's in there
Hang
all
out
the
with
time.
royalty.
Yeah, it's just all people trying to find their way in this economy and doing very well so far this year and historically. Howie's got a great track record.
That's amazing, dude. I love them. I love it, dude. And then you go down, keep going down. If you go to the Chaos Twins, I've been telling you guys, if you have kids, you have nephews, you have nieces, you have friends who have kids, you want to give them a great Christmas gift, here it is, Chaos Twins, beautifully illustrated, beautifully colored, wonderful, well written, and Dana, as a character, Danny, makes her first appearance, so we're very excited about that.
Is she squeezing you for royalties? Is she over her likeness?
We changed it just enough so she can't complain.
Oh, I see.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, you know what I could picture? I could picture somewhere like 10 years from now, someone would be like, you know what got me into conspiracies? The Chaos Twins. My uncle gave me this for Christmas, and then you're like, what?
Question everything. It's free. And then, guys, we're talking about our affiliates. We love our affiliates. We have some of the best out there. Obviously, gold and silver. I mean, you listen to anybody who talks, it's all about hardware, dude. Having that thing you can touch, man. Load it up. Let's say you got money in your bank. You got some money to spare. Buy some precious metals. It solidifies the price. It's only going to go up. I remember I bought this Chinese gold coin because it was a panda gold coin. I don't even know what this thing must be worth now because it was so much less when I bought it and the price of gold has skyrocketed.
Yep.
This thing's got to be worth so much money. So it's like, buy that now. So, like, listen, if you're saving your money in your bank, right? And you're like, I'm going to hold this money in my bank. That's great. Just know every year that is worth less. But if you took that money, you put it into your gold and silver and you just put it in your safe, it actually goes up in price. It's worth more. So it's a great way to hedge against fractional reserve banking. Aquacure brown gas, obviously chemical-free body. I love that stuff. I take it every day. I tell you, and when I don't take it, I feel it. But I feel that the most appropriate affiliate for this particular episode is EMF Rocks. You guys got to check them out. This is going to help you fight this dirty electricity that we've been talking about. Justin Franson, I talk to him all the time. He's helping us get guests on the show. This is what you want: Faraday bags. You want stuff you can wrap your put your phone into so you don't get electricity going.
I keep one of those rock bags under my mattress.
I think you should, Johnny.
Yeah,
I think you should.
I do. So.
Anything else, Scott? Go back. And our good friends at Harley Ray, even though they were talking a little shit to me on what was it, Cash Daddies? They watched it like Tripoli. What about? I'm like, damn, dude. Friendly fire, but wonderful people with one of the most beautiful websites you'll ever see. Look at that. Go up. Look at that. That's so badass.
Oh, that's nice. Right.
That's gorgeous. Damn. We love them. We love them. And I hope you guys will check out their stuff too. Anything else, boys?
Hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to leave an iTunes or Spotify review. Oh, and thank for everybody for the wrap up on Spotify. If you listen to this on Spotify,
thank you guys so much for wrapping us. We appreciate it. When I see that, I love to see who listens to us and what else they listen to. It's all the bangers.
Yeah,
we're in with the bangers, dude. You know, trust me, I got a cool shirt coming out. You're gonna love it, everybody. Johnny, any thoughts?
Check out Broken Sim. It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a wonderful one. I'm so excited about it. All right, again, if you want to listen to any of my other shows, every one of my shows, you can click a banner that will take you. Look at the awesome Doom Scrolling.
I was about to say Tuesdays. If you guys, it's always cracking over there on Doom Scrolling.
Oh, it's the best show
and Broken
ever.
Sim will happen whenever the we can get on the same page to record
exactly.
it.
There we go. Stop going to see your family all the time. All right, guys, enjoy the highlights.
Literally
go to the
nothing to do with
enjoy the highlights. Enjoy the highlights.
We're not gonna keep talking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
We only do like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Listen, I thought she was great. I mean, she obviously gets it when it comes to viruses. I love that shit. It's one of my favorite discussion because people just can't come to grips with it. That it's. I know this is a dangerous conspiracy. What do we got?
Harmful conspiracy.
Harmful conspiracies. But I think that if you start a new conspiracy podcast, you should call it Harmful Conspiracies.
Harmful.
I think it's important to understand that you know like Dr. Joseph P. Farrell said, the head of the snake is the Bank of International Settlements and is funding the false reality that is being projected into God's reality. And I love when really smart people who wrote like 1,000 books come on and say what I've been saying to you guys forever. It just makes me know I'm on the right track. And it's just the truth, dude. All this stuff that you're watching, like, God, the episodes have been fire lately, dude. This show has been fucking fire.
Yep.
And, you know, as we roll up to the end of the year, we got a couple weeks left, and then Daddy takes his 3 weeks off that he dreams about starting in July. And then as we get to the end, we're going to have the big 1,000th episode. We're trying to find a place. I hope you all can come and join us. We'll have a party after. Hopefully a couple babies will be made, and we'll have little tinfoil hat babies.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe we'll do what my friend Dark Smith on Conspiracy Social Club. He runs a cruise. They had a crime cruise, and just somebody decided to set up an orgy room. Yeah, they just had orgies on the cruise bus. Maybe we'll do that. What's in there? Orgy room. You got to want to bring it.
Don't know if I want to go to an orgy with a bunch of people who just study sex murder all day. You know what I mean? That's not
you know they put out those chicks.
I'm gonna ask them about terrain theory before I go in that orgy.
Hey, how many people believe in terrain theory?
Yeah, how many of you guys don't believe your herpes exists?
Johnny, shut the fuck up.
Not going in that room.
All right, guys, enjoy the highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. Did you see this? So Tucker had Piers Morgan on and just kind of went a little funny.
She texts and describes the man who...
Now, remember, we talked about this story.
This is Owen Benjamin's prophecy of, like, where we're getting to.
We talked about this story a couple weeks ago. It was this woman who was attacked, and she called...
Physically, right?
Yeah, physically, yeah. When she called the guy in a text, the F-double-G, yeah, and then she got in trouble for that, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, could do jail time. She got arrested.
Her up, sent her to the hospital as a, quote, she's arrested and convicted of a hate crime. The guy who beat her up is not arrested or convicted. By the way, you're allowed to be homophobic if you want in a free country. You can have any view you want.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with this whole hate speech.
And the guy who...
Like, you can hate people. You're not allowed... Like,
yeah, it's legal. Yeah.
You're totally illegal. When you act on it, that's the problem, right?
Physically, yeah.
Right? And this guy physically attacks his chick, and then she calls him the F-double-G, and she's in jail?
Like, when's the last time you heard of them teaching in school or to children sticks and stones, dude?
No, they don't. Because
that was fundamental to our childhood.
Johnny, the theory of... It's why California is in the shitter. Because the theory of hate is worse than real world consequences.
But wasn't that a fundamental like virtue when you're a kid? Like that's like a value, right? To learn that sticks and stones. Now remember,
gonna teach it to my kids, dude.
And it's just gone. You don't hear it ever.
Case was not that story.
By speaking of sticks and stones, I'm watching. Ken Burns has the American Revolution, and I just started it like right before I came here. And the first 5 minutes is like, yeah, the Indians came up with democracy before. Like right away, it's like Benjamin Franklin came up with this idea of, this colonies banding together that the Indians already came up with. And then it talks about the Indians for like 5 minutes to start the American Revolution.
Yeah, they've been teeing off on that guy.
Oh, really? Ken Burns?
Yeah.
Well, he got so much shit for the Civil War one, like by modern people. It's a 90s thing that he felt, I think, that he had to bend over.
Tells you everything.
Well, I don't know that story.
Would you say the word on camera?
No.
Why?
Because
You don't want to get arrested, do you?
doesn't want to be arrested.
Because it's so harmful to people?
Actually, my whole issue with the whole trans debate, for example, is you don't need to say derogatory stuff about trans people to make the point that women's rights should be protected.
Well, I agree.
So what? I don't believe.
No, but it's a magic word.
I don't believe in needlessly sneering.
Well, I'm not smearing anybody. I just think.
But what would you use that word? Yeah,
I just did.
But would okay, but why?
And I'm using it because you're not allowed to. Because you're
I'm allowed to.
Go ahead. This chick just got arrested for it and convicted. They're making me want to say that because it's so outrageous that you would arrest
Here's
someone
my
for
problem with words is we have this rule to protect these people, and the people the rule is meant to protect violate the rule constantly.
Yeah.
So it's not a real rule. It's just a way to tell white guys to shut the fuck up. And it's like this bit I'm trying to work on that will never work because people can't go there. It's like everybody's racist. This notion that one group is racist. And by the way, if you want to watch why some white people are scumbags, not all white, and this is every group. And this is where you get into the nuance of it. It's like an entire group is not scumbags. It's always the people at the top that are scumbags. Look at what the British and the French did to the Middle East. Pure white people scumbag shit. So when you go white people are fucking colonizer scumbags, there's an argument for that. But it's not all white people. That's the big problem. You're doing these broad strokes on everybody. Go to Appalachians and tell me what kind of white privilege those people have. They have none, but we have to group everybody together because that's how you create culture wars, okay? But to sit there and go, oh, you can't say this word is laughable when the group that you are trying to protect by creating that rule violates it on a daily basis, like water flowing over a waterfall. I mean, dude, I can't tell you how many gay comics I hear say the word faggot, dude, all the time. And it's hilarious and it's funny. And who cares? Black
YouTube
people
cares.
What?
YouTube, they care. I'm writing down the time.
Okay, because I was about to drop an M-bomb. I don't want to make you do double work. But
if I'm already here, go
okay.
ahead.
And then you got black people saying nigga constantly, and everyone's like, oh my God, why? And it goes back to what I said earlier about Louis C.K., who's fucking one of the greatest comics of all time. He was allowed to do these jokes that the industry wouldn't let 99% of people who look like fucking Louis C.K. say the jokes.
No, totally.
That's my problem. If you give me a hard rule that, obviously, Ari Shaffir is an exception to this, but it's like Jewish people with the K word. You don't hear Jewish people calling each other kikes.
No,
you never hear that ever. Ever. That's why you got to respect the rule. But outside of that, it's all bullshit.
Yeah. Props to the for their internal logic.
It's so funny. I post this thing. And it's this theory I have about, like, if you really want to live in a proper society, you got to get rid of political correctness. So there's this picture of this kind of hot chick, and she goes, if you're being inclusive, understanding, blah, 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 you've been conquered. And there's some real truth to that. Kind of what's happening with this story right here, right? But because she does this and she has a Jewish star right there.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Everybody's like, oh, she's a... And I'm like, that's not the point of the thing, dude. Okay? Stop clumping everybody together. You do a disservice. It's the top versus the middle and the bottom. Totally. All right, I gotta go.
Help me now. Let's have a moment of self-liberation.
I think you're beyond help.
Hold my hand. We're gonna say together. You ready?
No, we're not.
Do you say gay and?
Huh?
Do you say gay and?
He's saying the R word.
The R word.
Tucker just thinks that's hilarious that he won't say retard.
Oh, dude, my bit about when I start my bit about tards, okay, the room is quiet, but by the end they're fucking howling because no one calls special needs people the R word.
No,
ever. It's the R word. Let me just say this: R word is about fucking stupid assholes. Okay, the F word when it comes to gays, which they associate with gays, is about annoying bitches, being an annoying bitch. That's what you call the F double G's, okay? And the M word is the M word, dude. And most white people want to say it in the way they've been programmed by black culture, which is a term of endearment, okay? Yeah. Like, that's really what it is. Once in a while, you'll hear an M word said in the way that upsets everybody. Now, you had this girl working at Cinnabon. Did you see that? No. A bunch of Somalians were sexually...
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
We got a funny cop-filled episode over here, guys, right off the bat. We review this lifetime delinquent stealing at Walmart. We think it's Walmart, but it's so funny. This homie is a comedian. Then right after that, we review this cop who runs over a criminal, and to top it off, he still keeps yelling, "Stop resisting arrest. You just ran over the homie, dog. Come on, get your shit together." And then these two twins, one of them's methed out, the other one isn't. And they switch spots around to try to get away with the crime. It's unbelievable. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get right into it, baby. Let's go. Welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. It's your boy XG Marks the Spot. And like always, I got my #1 producer / graphic designer, Chili Millie. What's up, guys? I'm having a great time. It's a weird start to the podcast.
That makes sense.
The beginning of it, Chili showed up and I was watching porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say that like it's the usual, like, yeah.
I didn't like trip out that much when
well, because I wasn't watching porn. I was doing a deep dive,
it was
some research, because the homie hit me up with like, yo, you know that homegirl that's been on the pod? And I was like, what about her? And I was like, dude, she's been in porn. And I'm like, no way. So I put on my DJ Will hat on. And I did some investigating. And while Chili was here, I was on masterfap.net. And I guess it's like one of those pages that posts like leaked pictures of OnlyFans chicks. And I found it.
Okay, wait. Since you said that, can you find Jessica Alba's daughter's porn on there?
Yeah, that was easy to find.
You found it?
Yeah, that was not
and you
too
watched
hard.
it?
Yeah, she was overage, yeah.
Was it good?
It was like that. It was like that. It was like, you've ever seen The Night in Paris or Night of Paris, whatever?
I never watched any of the famous ones.
Okay, so Night of Paris is Paris Hilton getting and it was in black. It was like in a night vision camera.
Oh, so you can't
lame.
Okay.
Back in the day, still used, jerked off to it, but like it was lame,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, and then like you've seen the Kim Kardashian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weak. You don't see nothing. You don't see no vaginal.
Yeah.
You don't see no real penetration. You just see her blowing
You just
Rage's
know it's
big
her.
ass dick, huh?
You just know it's her.
You just know it's
Yeah.
her, which is enough for some
Okay.
of us.
Well, all right, go back
Yeah,
to your
but
story.
she just shows up. She's like, "What the f*** you doing?" I was like, so then I like literally explained the rundown to her. I was like, so homegirl, her videos leak, whoop de whoop, and then I was like, you want to see it? But we can't find penetration. It's just her like a background actor.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Chili, and I was like, is it her? And she was like, yep, that's her. And she's not in the. It's like one of those pornos where she's like
she's an extra.
Yeah, she's in the classroom and her friends and another student's about to get smashed on. She's like, you're giving out too much. So she's in the classroom. You want the video? DM me. I don't give a f***. I'll send it to you, dog. The homegirl.
You can bleep some of this out if you
Yeah, I usually do. I end up regretting it at the time after. Oh my God, I bleep that out. I said the homie's name.
It's up to you.
But Yeah, so we found it. It's
But-
nothing too crazy. And I was telling Chili, I was like, dude, would I be mad if my girl, me and her are dating for like about a year or two, and then she hits me, or the homie hits me over like, your girl's in a porno. And I'm like, but she's just a background actor. Are you breaking up with her?
Yeah. What?
Is she-
Well, are you asking me?
I don't know. Is she in a porno? Like, Chili, would you consider her, that girl that I showed you?
The one that we watched?
Yeah, would you?
She's
if
in one because
she-
she's like kind of looking at the screen, kind of suggestive. No.
You consider that being in porn, even though she wasn't in porn, like like to me, she's just she's not a. Okay, she isn't. Okay, if you're a background actor in a movie, you're still in the movie.
But yeah, that's what I meant. So when I
That's
first,
what I'm wondering. Like, she's not the main actor. Like, she's not the lead. The lead.
I thought she was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, she's just sitting there, and like there's shit's just happening, like while she's in class or something. Then that's not bad. But then when she's turning around and looking, I don't know what that. That's what I was asking you.
And then
I'm
here's
like,
the other thing.
Does that count?
Here's the other thing. That's what's on camera.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when the cameras got off, and maybe she participated.
You think that's what happens at porns?
Not everything that gets recorded goes on the internet. I'm pretty sure some shit gets recorded. Some videos didn't come out
like
that good.
Outtakes?
Yeah, we don't know if she
I
participated.
thought you meant like it's like a party and she's just like
Maybe too. You don't fucking know.
I don't
You don't know what drugs are involved. You don't know how much cocaine is there.
Oh, I guess yeah.
It's just it starts. So even though my wife can tell me or my girlfriend tells me,
dang, your wife you're divorcing.
well, I'm just saying.
You
If
have-
you have a
that's
girlfriend, you have a wife, and your girlfriend hits you up with, I'm not in a porno. I was just a background actor. I got paid $100. It's no big deal. My homegirl got whoop-de-whoop. Like I said, I might believe that. But what happened when the cameras were off? You're in a porno set. What the fuck are you doing there, bitch?
Also, don't you have to fuck somebody to get on those?
I would assume.
Like, you know,
I would assume you have to fucking.
don't you have to like get through
Maybe not someone, but you have
like the
to.
cameraman
You have to kind of
or whoever
be part of the
pays you?
game. You know, you can't be a prude. You know, they don't have prudes there. They don't have anyone that's not like. You might not. But you better be in a bikini.
So you're definitely not dating any. Well,
That's
so
what
like
I mean. Like, and that's the homegirl that technically we can't find anything crazy. We just find her like in the background, a little bit of titties, nothing crazy. But I'm just like, how do I handle this? How do you handle
this? But this is before and after, right? So like, let's say like if you're already dating her and then you find it. Let's say, well, it's worse if your friends.
Your
find
friend,
it.
we
That's
yeah.
way
If you
worse.
find it, you
Yeah.
just cross your fingers and hope to
Yeah.
die that no one ever. We
Yeah.
found it. We
Yeah.
found it.
Which one? Well, okay. So let's say like you found it, and no one else found it. That wouldn't be so bad, right? So you can talk to her about it and then find out. But aren't you pissed off that she never told you?
That's another thing. Did she not tell you?
You can't be married. You can't marry her. Like you would have to get divorced if you found out that your wife is in a fucking.
Just on a porno set.
Yeah, you're just fucking
Okay.
Akash.
Okay. So do you,
popping her pussy.
fuck. I might have to find his name. I've done stand up with him. He's famous for doing this. He did stand up with me, Sam Tripoli, and Eddie Bravo in Huntington Beach. There's this guy that gets paid to be the cuck.
Who?
Hmm?
Who?
He's a comedian.
He said, when all I said was
I'll put his
there's so many comedians, but that lineup is small.
I'll put his face up. It's gonna take some time for me to look for it. And I don't
Okay.
really, yeah. So I'll put it up right there. But it was one of our guys that performed with us, and he looked very familiar. He's some curly-haired comedian, and he gets paid to be a cuck. We've all seen him
The
in
brown
pornos.
guy?
Huh?
The brown? He's brown?
Brown with curly hair, yeah.
The one that lives in his van?
Maybe.
No, I don't think it's him. Is it?
No, not him. Not the big
okay.
not the big nose motherfucker, the
Okay.
Jewish guy. No, someone else. But this guy, he was telling us how he gets paid to be the cuck.
Huh.
He gets paid $200 just to sit there. It's $200 or $500, but I knew it wasn't over a K because I said I would probably do it for a K. And all he does is sit there while someone else, and he acts like the husband.
Why
He
do
acts
I
like
know
the
this
boyfriend.
story?
Huh?
Why, I know the story. I'm trying to think of who it is.
You know the story because we've talked about it on Tinfoil Hat.
Yeah.
Sam was mind blown. He's like, what? He's like, you get paid to be the cuck, and we've all seen him because the second he said, I'm the cuck in those videos, me and Sam were like, oh, you are that dude.
I wouldn't be happy.
What?
Like if I found out my boyfriend was like a cuck and then like in a porno, I was
No?
like, nah, I'm out.
You're out?
I mean, I wonder how much they get paid to be an extra in a freaking porn. Do you think they get paid good?
They must get paid something. Give me what's this fool's name?
Now it's gonna bug us.
Seen
bet you it's like someone so like, duh.
Let me see. I try to have him on We Don't Smoke the Same, and it just for some reason it just didn't happen. Who knows? I'll look him up.
Like,
I'm
nope.
sure I'll find him up.
E-Zone's like, nope.
No, E-Zone was cool with it, dude. Imagine the stories he has, dude.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
there. Tell me you don't get hard. You kind of have to have a
Yeah,
half
he
chub.
has to. There's
And then
no
what?
way.
You just go home and jerk it off when there's a porn star right there. You might just tell her off like, hey, how much to top me off? She's already in it. She's already a fucking whore. No.
Can't see that well.
It's a Huntington. It's
not that Huntington Beach.
It was
show.
in Huntington Beach.
Not the Mamba.
No.
Anyways, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, are you staying with her? Like, let's say you found out your girlfriend was in some, but she wasn't. She did no penetration.
So I'm in the homie's position, right? Let's just say I'm dating the homegirl, right? Let's switch it up. Dude, she's not in it. There's no penetration. So I have another homie. I'm definitely not gonna say his name. I definitely want to beep this out. But you know,
yeah,
his wife used to do porn.
What? Well, yeah, I could kind of see that.
But guess what?
Was he okay with it?
Only lesbian porn. Were you okay with that? Is that
Dudes
all right?
are jacking off there.
Huh?
Dudes are jacking off. Is the camera crew?
It's lesbian porn. That's what I'm saying. There's
crew,
that's what
women too.
There's huge differences. Like if there's pornos of your girl taking a fucking BBC, divorce.
But don't you
breaking
have to
up.
fuck to get into it?
I don't know.
Is that just
No, you don't. What if you're a
Oh.
lesbian and you only want to do lesbian porn?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I don't know any porn stars.
But there's difference.
Don't you have to like to get into like a strip club?
No, what are you talking about?
To work?
No,
Like, don't you have to like give
it's
them
illegal.
blowjobs?
You're not supposed to at strip clubs.
No, come on.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. I'm not, obviously.
Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? Like, but don't you like don't the
you
girls?
get better shifts if you fucking fuck the manager. Yes, but you don't have to fuck
I
the
didn't say-
manager
well,
to work.
I thought, because I had a friend that was a waitress, and she said, yeah.
Of course the manager told her you gotta blow me to get the job. of course. Chili, God damn.
So
was
don't you
Harvey
think that, like,
Weinstein? Was
then-
Harvey Weinstein at this strip club?
I never worked that one, but like that's what I heard. But then
This girl's not that hot. They're not using her.
I don't think you have to be hot. Guys don't give a watch like this one. You sent me this, by the way. I don't know what the feed is.
Like this? Yo quiero verme acá bien chingona, bien.
Deep homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.